Welcome to the Modern Sales Method podcast, the show that's changing the way we think about sales. I'm your host, Gretha. With over 20 years of experience in sales, I'm on a mission to help sales professionals move away from outdated tactics and tricks that simply don't work in the 21st century, and instead work in a way that's clear, relevant, and aligned with how people actually make decisions today. Words like convincing, persuading, and closing are making way for a better approach, solving real problems and communicating value clearly. Each week, we unpack the principles of the modern sales method and redefine sales through purposeful selling. No scripts, no pressure, just real conversations. Hi and welcome, I'm Gretha. I'm really excited to be recording the very first episode of the Modern Sales Method podcast. But before I jump into today's topic, which is all about the wrong way to build rapport, I want to quickly cover two important things. I want to give you a bit of background about me and why I can confidently speak about sales. And secondly, I want to introduce you to something called the Modern Sales Dictionary, because it's one of the easiest ways to understand what the Modern Sales Method is all about. But before I get into that, let me just tell you a little bit more about me. So this year marks exactly 20 years in sales. And my sales journey started right after school when I took a gap year in the UK, where I worked as a fundraiser on the freezing high streets of London, raising funds for some of the world's most important non-profit organizations. And that is where I learned how to approach people and how to communicate value in just a few seconds. After that, I worked in the travel industry for a few years before moving into the pharmaceutical industry, where I did most of my formal sales training. I've sold software, I've sold out-of-home advertising, among other things. And I've worked as a sales representative myself, so I understand the realities of being in field. And for 8 years, I managed a large team of sales representatives and account managers, giving me real insight into the challenges that sales professionals face in today's fast-changing sales environment. I've coached sales teams in the corporate space, working with both new salespeople, helping them get started in the right way and build confidence, and experienced professionals move beyond outdated sales habits. And today, I'm extremely privileged to live in the beautiful island of Mauritius with my family, where I focus on coaching and developing sales professionals from all over the world. And now I'm on a mission to change the narrative around sales, which is exactly why I created the Modern Sales Method. Now, onto the Modern Sales Dictionary. As most of you know, the Modern Sales Method is built on 5 key principles. And one of the easiest ways to understand it is through the dictionary, because it reframes the wrong sales language. Using the right words can shift your mindset, often without you even realizing it, and help you start thinking differently about sales. So do go to the website, themodernsalesmethod.com/dictionary, to have a quick look at the different words and outdated words, the wrong words, and also have a look at the correct words that you should be using if you want to change your thinking and the way you do sales. But for now, let's get into today's topic. Building rapport. We've all heard it. It's one of the first things they teach us in sales school. You need to build rapport with your clients. But what does it actually mean? Traditionally, building rapport means trying to make the other person like you before doing business, or establishing trust through friendliness, similarity, and casual conversation. So that is what we were taught. You need to break the ice. You need to start with small talk. How was your weekend? Try and find common ground. Oh, you also play golf? Don't forget about the compliments. Wow, you've got such a nice office. Being over-friendly and agreeable. Trying to warm up the conversation before getting to business. But here's the problem. That approach does not work in today's fast-paced business environment. Your client is busy. They have real problems to solve, and they don't have time to chat to you about the weather. In fact, when you lead with small talk, you actually risk losing their attention before you even get started. Instead of talking about the weather or asking irrelevant questions and forcing a conversation, here are 2 things that you should actually be doing. Number 1, establish yourself as an expert. Bring insights. Share something of value about either the industry, the challenges, or the opportunities that your client might not even be aware of. This immediately tells your client that you actually know what you're talking about and that they have a reason to listen to what you have to say. And number 2, ask the right questions. So stop asking lazy questions like, what challenges are you facing? Instead, ask. For example, if you're selling something like advertising, you could say, most companies I speak to are spending on marketing, but they are not seeing any clear return. Is that something that you're currently dealing with? So you see the difference? One is very generic and the other one is specific, relevant, and insightful. It's very important. The modern sales method isn't about creating scripts and memorizing lines, but it is about being prepared. And being prepared and insightful requires preparation. So you do need to understand your industry, you need to know your product, and you need to know what's happening in your client's universe and in their reality. Not in a scripted way, but in a way that shows that you genuinely know what you're talking about. So this is obviously not something that's going to be easy in the beginning, but the more you do it, the better you'll get. And again, if you want to learn more about how to be prepared with insightful questions, feel free to visit our website. Now, of course, there are exceptions. Different people, different personality types respond differently. And some people might still enjoy having a cup of coffee with you and a quick chat about the kids. And that is why it's so important as a sales professional to be able to quickly adjust to different situations. Sales training today can feel extremely overwhelming and overcomplicated. And that is exactly why I created the Modern Sales Method. It's to really simplify things and to focus only on what actually works. In the next episode, I'm going to show you how to actually get your face in front of more potential clients. Because what is the point of being relevant and insightful if you don't have anyone to talk to? Keep your eye on my Facebook page and see when that episode goes live. I'm going to leave you with this final line. Clients don't buy from you because they like you. They buy from you because you know what you're talking about and they can clearly see how you can help them solve their problems. So I'll see you on the next episode of the Modern Sales Method podcast, launching soon.